People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Edo State yesterday said it has assessed the administration of Governor Monday Okpebholo in the past 3 months and passed a no performance vote in it, saying that the people of the state have been suffering across all sectors. But in a swift reaction, the Commissioner for Information and Communication described the claim of the PDP as absolute falsehood. Addressing newsmen in Benin City, the chairman of the PDP Caretaker Committee, Dr. Tony Aziegbemi, said the state has experienced alarming retrogression in the past 3 months under the Okpebholo administration. Aziegbemi said, from education, where Edo has taken a notorious backseat, ranking on the list of states with top priority and budgetary allocations for the sector, to the health sector, where even the most basic medical consumables are unavailable, to security, economy, infrastructure, power, technology, among others. On security, Dr. Aziegbemi noted that the primary responsibility of any government is the protection of lives and property of citizens, adding that, and in this regard, we can categorically say that the Okpebholo government has failed woefully. He said, from Edo South to Edo Central to Edo North, killings and violent attacks have become rampant. The state, which was repositioned as one of Nigeria's safest places to live and do business during the Godwin Obaseki-led administration, has now become so unsafe, gaining a notorious reputation as the capital of kidnapping and violence crimes. As kidnappers and other criminals now see it as a haven, the weakest link in the country's security framework. Meanwhile, the supposed chief security officer of the state stands dazed, overwhelmed, clueless, and utterly incapable of managing the worsening insecurity that has continued to claim the lives of innocent citizens almost daily. Well, there have been serious reports about issues of insecurity, kidnappings, farmers clash, headers, and all of that, Fulani headsmen, invading Edo State as we speak. But here is the PDP decrying Okpebholo's administrative performance, saying that it has been his administration has failed woefully in terms of education, in the sector, in terms of education, health, as well as infrastructure,
yes.
And so many things was listed there. I'm wondering.
In fact, he has virtually made it look like everything is bad.
So let me get your take on this one.
They virtually made it look like everything is bad. And Okpebholo came into power not quite long.
All right.
Okay? Are you saying that these few months that this man came into power, all of this thing just went into the gutter, everything just got bad? Well, if we want to be fair, if indeed going by what PDP is saying is true, then I should say that this decadence, this decay, this bad things that they are saying now started from Obaseki's time, because it shouldn't just happen all of a sudden. But otherwise, in my opinion, these statements are political statements to attract people's attention and to make more mockery of the existing government.
Okay, quickly, can you think of some of the developments that have been made, or one remarkable achievement that the Okpebholo's administration has done since he came into power?
Well, I may not have handful of such information,
right.
Okay, and I don't want to put up what I don't have information to.
Right.
I may not have such handful of information, but I know that his government actually started not quite long. Okay, so even let's take for instance, if Okpebholo had commissioned the road project from when he started till now, that road project shouldn't have finished.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
It shouldn't have finished. So if we look at it from that perspective, you may not even lay hands to this thing has actually been done. Okay, but there are things that should be in the pipeline, that is jobs that are on ground to be done, good tidings, I mean goodwill, good thoughts that, okay, this is what we have to do and these are the things that we need to do. So you don't just wake up all of a sudden and think it's just putting water in your bucket and then run to the bathing room and then wash yourself and jump out. No, these are things, projects of government takes time. It's not a day thing. Even when they are short-time projects, they don't take 1 to 3 months. Sometimes it's a year plus. That's within a year or a year plus. That's what I'm saying. And if you look at the Okpebholo they are talking about, the man just came into power. So and then you're not talking about security killings here and there and every day. The way they are even painting it, I think you seated here should also be worried, because the news should be flashing you every now and then that there is war in Edo State. From what they are saying, you should be knowing. In fact, every day you should be showcasing it on your televising it on your TV station. So,
Comrade Kingsley, well, as an analyst, right, from your perspective, how long do you think is enough for an administration to carry out remarkable, achievements, something remarkable that the people would look up to say, okay, this is what the governor have done from this period to this period? Which period do you think is enough?
By my understanding, government projects tends to be heavy because it's not an individual project. Okay, it's something for the masses. So, give or take, within a year plus, we should have at least something tangible, not even very big. Not even very big. For instance, let's say Okpebholo wants to build a refinery for Edo people. My brother, is it going to be a year thing? It's not even going to be a 2-year thing. You understand what I'm saying now? Though, depending on the size of the refinery they are going to build. Okay. So if they also want to have a large farm that will feed, the people of Edo State, right? Is it going to be just a year thing? You just need to understand the things that will play out. I'm looking at the things that are people friendly here, things that you see and you say, okay, because if there's a refinery and of course you have them pumping fuel, the fuel price comes down, okay? And then at the end of the day, people will tell you things are cheap. And then when you talk about farm, you're talking about food. That's also making food available, so it will be cheap for people to have food. I mean, because you have food here and there, it becomes less expensive. So I'm mentioning these two because I know that there is no way, if these two things are right, to not affect the life of the people. So, but if you have these two things as a project for the government, I'm asking now, is it going to be a year thing to get them accomplished? So why crying this early time? What do you want the governor to do? The easiest thing the governor would have done that would be just an hour thing or even a minute thing would be dashing people money.
Okay.
That is giving them money. That within a twinkle of an eye. Is that the thing you want the governor to do?
So what is the time frame that
that's what I'm telling you. Within a year plus.
Within a year plus.
Yes, just a year and maybe a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 months.
We should be able to see tangible.
Yes, you should be able to see something tangible. Like I said again,
affecting
all
the sectors.
Good.
Okay.
And I said again, it has to do with the size of the project. Okay, because there are projects that are big. That's, yes, it's going to affect the people, but it's big, and so it takes a longer time. There are also projects that will also affect the life of the people, but it may be small. You understand? So within a year plus, this should be enough for you to, get things running.
All right. Well, let's take a look at this now. The recent kidnappings issues we are seeing in Edo State. I'm sure you've seen series of videos that have been made as regards to this kidnapping, as regards to these issues of farmers, herders, and other things clashing with farmers in Edo State. What would you also make of this?
Okay, this security thing we are talking about, there's one thing I've come to realize in Nigeria, in each of the states. If there is any state that you have an opposition fighting so hard, you tend to have insecurity much in that state. What I mean is this: let's say APC is in power and PDP is trying to gain power. You'll be hearing insecurity as if that's the only business they have in that place. Or if it's PDP that is in power and APC wants to come in, you'll be hearing this. They make it look like it is the government of the day, or rather the party of the day that is not in power, that is trying to orchestrate all of this trouble. Because the truth be told, insecurity is a general thing, and nobody wants to do it because it is Okpebholo that is in power, or maybe PDP that is in power. It is a general thing.
I get your point that it's a general thing. So what do you say other parties, what do you think other parties can do in this regard? Because if you say it's a general thing, then there should be some ways that other parties can come in.
I want to say something. Are we going to say that Okpebholo is the one causing the insecurity in that place?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Yes.
Of course not. So if and would you also say that he's interested? Well, would you also that he's interested seeing insecurity grow in that state? Of course not.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying now? So in my opinion, it's a general thing. Some persons just want to capitalize on certain opportunities and then ridicule other persons.
Now the question is, do you think they are also capitalizing on this, or they are calling for the governor himself to make moves?
See, calling on the governor to make moves to stop this thing is different from what they are even doing. That's one thing I want you to understand now.
Right.
They are making you and I see that governor as somebody who is trying to welcome such acts. That is the picture they are trying to create, so that you and I will see that man as unfit. And if we are Edo people, if time comes for election, we shouldn't vote him.
Okay.
Do you understand?
These issues have been lingering for over 3 days now. Now, so far, I think, in your opinion, there's something the governor would have done, probably addressing that issue. I don't know.
And do you think the governor is not doing so?
Well, from what I've just seen, I've not seen any report. I've not seen any official statement by the governor.
What you need to understand in governance, if you start reading the words of your opponents all the time and act on it, you will look very stupid. You look like a man walking and always looking back. We're not saying when you walk, don't look back, but you take a step forward, you take one step backward, you go no goddamn where. They have their plans, and by the special grace of God, I know they are working out. But again, I'm not saying PDP shouldn't shout, because governance has to do with check and balance. If nobody talks, maybe this thing will just be going on like that. So what are they supposed to do? Yes, you're talking, but don't make it look like you're seeing him like he's the orchestrator of this whole thing, or rather he's even interested in it. No, you can as well write to him. You can as well see how you get to him, or see how to get to his government and say, look, we have a solution to this. Okay, with all they have said, did they point out what is the solution to this whole problem? Because even me as a person, I don't like somebody discussing problem without solutions. Whenever I want to come and tell you something, I have the solution to it first. I will tell you, this thing you're doing, this is not the way you're supposed to do it. I think, because I still know you have the, the right to take the decision finally. I will tell you, I think this is the way it should have been done. Okay, but you're not giving any solution. You're just creating problem. And then you want me to believe that what you're saying is absolutely just like that. Edo people shouldn't be living in Edo from the way PDP is painting the picture. I should be hearing that some of them are staying in the bush, some are relocating to neighboring states, from the way they are saying it. Okay?
Of course.
So, but I still have people who are in Edo State.
That's not a prayer, actually. That's not a prayer, actually.
That's not the prayer. I'm not also trying to say that the governor should not look into it, insecurity matter, but let's not also make it look like, because for goodness sake, my brother, this earth, okay, or every state rather, let me come to the state, every state must have a leader. And it's not when somebody becomes a leader, it looks like he shouldn't have been a leader. No. And at the same time, I'm not saying that the leader should also go and sleep because they make you a leader. No. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. In that sense, again, you would want to say that the issue now of insecurity, the insecurity issue we're talking about now, does not know boundary. It doesn't matter if you're in APC
or PDP,
or whether you're in PDP, because definitely it's going to affect
both sides.
Both sides, right? So now, what do you think the PDP needs to do in this regard?
Good. PDP should be able to reel out solutions. In fact, that would have been their first and best criticism to the or criticizing tools to use against the Okpebholo-led government. Bring solutions that are clear, crystal clear, that people will see and say, oh, this thing these people are saying, this is the reality. It's just like our senator, the owner of STV.
All right. Ben Bruce,
that will always come up with common sense.
All right.
When you look at what he was doing, he was not really attacking the government, But he was creating a picture of how this thing should have been done and done better. And he said it's a common sense. So he wasn't attacking anybody. He was just creating the picture. And I was even watching to see if the government of the day will borrow a leaf from that common sense. Because even me, when I listened to him talk, I said, wow, this is actually common sense.
You actually find common sense.
Yes, it's a common sense. You understand what I'm saying now? So these are the things they should be doing so that, you know, people will now know that, okay, you really meant well for Edo people. I'm not trying to make Edo. You that is even painting that picture, you don't know that you're demarcating Edo. You don't know. You're demarcating Edo. You think you're doing something. You're telling people that don't come. Edo is so dangerous. There is a lot of problem here and there. And so then when let's say, for instance, now you now take over, will the killing stop suddenly? The people you have made to run out of the state from transacting business with the state, will they now come back?